Guys, listen up. As you get older, the best way to continue to look young, exuberant, and vibrant is to continue to take care of your skin. That's why I'm excited to have Teej Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. You heard me talk about them before, and you're going to continue to hear me talk about them because I believe in their products and the positive impact that they have on every man's life. Teej Hanley makes taking care of your skin so easy. They provide you with all the products you need and nothing that you don't. Every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. Lapeef family, I must admit, skincare wasn't always something I always focused on, but since I started using this system, I've seen improvements in the way my skin looks and feels. And you don't have to take my word for it. They have over 5,000 5-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers from around the world. I recommend you start with the level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: a daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer, and a PM moisturizer. In addition to amazing skin, members of Teej Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off retail price, the ability to customize your box, pause or cancel at any time, and free US shipping. And because Teej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click that first link in the description and you'll get 30% off your first box plus the free gift. Seriously, that's an amazing deal. Even though it's too early, as I often say, it's never too late. Click that link and get started today.
It's go time. Going on, family? Welcome to King Talk on the Lapeef Network. Let me go and introduce the crew. We got Mr. Shannon Rawls, Marcus Wright, Trev Smooth, Sir Sean Ali, Luis Clout Jones, me myself from Lapeef JR. Welcome to King Talk on the greatest network ever, the Lapeef Network. What's going on, family? What's going on? How you brothers doing?
What it do? What it do?
Yeah, can't call it like a broken phone.
What's going on?
What up?
How we feeling tonight?
What's happening, black man?
Peace
Living.
Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings. It is, man. Good to see you, gentlemen. Once again, it's Halloween. I thought y'all might be out there trick or treating.
Just got back.
No, I did that early.
Stuff for the law, bro. Stuff for the law.
TP some
Something,
houses.
dog.
Yeah, I thought they did it on Saturday or this weekend or something, but I thought
There was brick out there too. It was freezing. It was crazy.
Yeah, I thought the official day was this. Was Saturday the 29th. Did they move it on us?
Oh, somebody need some more. Yeah,
Whoa, that
yeah.
door.
That's the boogeyman door.
That's the starting already, man. All you gotta do is get you some oil, man, and just spray those hinges. Work it a little bit.
WD. If you old school like my grandmother, go ahead and go get that Crisco and just.
God damn. WD-40 take care of that. You be good.
For sure.
Absolutely. Well, it's good to see you, gentlemen, man. Welcome to King Talk on the Lapeef Network. If you guys haven't already, hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Before we get the show started, let's go ahead and get this housekeeping. Brother getting the waves right, eh?
Sure, you know.
Hey, man, I'm over here getting seasick, man. You spinning over there, brother.
Spinning and spinning and spinning.
Rashad, you've been working on about a year now.
Hey, man, don't do me like that, Hank. I'm trying to, if I had that silkiness like you do up top. Shout out to Hank. What's going on, Clout Jones?
What up, Rashawn? What's going on?
Trav, Marcus, man. Marcus was building earlier. Shannon, Mr. Ross. What's going on, Lord? And obviously, JR. Once again, thank you for allowing me to be on this platform.
No problem. Anytime, man. You're dropping them gems, so you gotta make sure we get it out there. Yeah. With that being said, man, hit the like button again. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I have been in the lab. I am working, and it's almost finished. But we do have a beer kit that's coming out for men with the struggle beers, and even the men with the healthy beers. We finally got something good that's gonna be able to work for us. So y'all stay tuned for that. It should be dropping out next month, which is tomorrow, right before the holidays. So y'all stay tuned for that. I should be revealing that shortly. Also, shout out to the sponsor again, Teach Channel Complicated Skincare for Men. 30% off along with a free gift. That link is in the description. So go ahead and fill the Teach. And I do have one more announcement. I was trying to squeeze something in as far as an event this year. It's not going to happen. I think it actually works out pretty well because with the holidays, people are pretty busy. They're traveling, New Year's Eve, Christmas, Thanksgiving. When all that said, we're going to be doing something in Dallas, second, third Saturday of January. The second or third Saturday of January. So talking with the team, we're putting it together. It should be something epic. Some of you guys haven't seen before. So I'm looking to put the final touches on that. I should have the exact date by the end of the week. Maybe tomorrow. We got a meeting in the morning, so we're gonna go ahead and discuss that. It is limited. Everybody will not be able to get in. So it is limited. It is. Some of it is a little bit selective, and then others will be to the public. Just all depends on how we put it together. But that is going to be the place that you want to be. Mark my words. It is definitely going to be one for the books. I'm trying to top Atlanta. Top Atlanta. I think I'm gonna do it with this one because this is something that's a little bit epic. I'm gonna give you a little preview. It's gonna be different rooms. Different rooms gonna have a different vibe to it. So that's all I'm gonna give you right now. January 2nd and 3rd, Saturday. Make sure you guys reserve that, and I should be making some more announcements with that by the end of the week. All right, let's go ahead and get this show started. Shout out to my Green Gang that's in the chat. Dale Matthew, Erica. Who else we got in there? I see Precious in the chat as well. Dale Matthew has gifted Lapeef Network membership. Salute to you, sir, and thank you for that. And if you want to become part of Green Gang, that link is pinned to the top of the chat. I see Hinkins in there as well. We already know Cloud in the chat. We know Cloud. So whenever you hear that clicking going on, we already know somebody has said something that'll trigger him. So y'all make sure y'all watch out for him, man. If we got to get HR on here, we will get HR because y'all going to have to leave Cloud Jones alone. You know he's easily triggered by the chat. So I don't predict that tonight, but just in case, HR is on deck, Cloud. This is a safe space for you, and I don't want you to be offended by anyone on the panel or the chat. You know, we'll have HR on site in a heartbeat. You good? Okay, I didn't make you feel uncomfortable. Don't call HR on me. I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable with that little speech.
Nah, man. Nah, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, I just had to double check, man. You never know. Some people are looking at they be like biting their teeth hard as hell, and you think everything is good, and you get that phone call saying you've been removed from service or you're in an investigation all of a sudden. And you thought it was all good. I'm speaking of personal experience. I've been there. I thought when we have a disagreement, we talk about it, but unfortunately, people will try to get you fired.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. Oh, ass, but we'll go ahead and keep it moving. We're gonna do something a little bit different. We're gonna start off with the main topic, and then I got a couple more topics on the back end. I'm just trying to list something different. You guys heard about the Joe Smith story with his wife. He found out his wife had an OnlyFans. I'm not sure if it's a skit, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe somebody found the OnlyFans page, right? So she does have one, correct? No?
That I don't know. I only know what the title's been said and what she said inside the I watched the video.
I thought it was a hoax. It wasn't a hoax. I thought it wasn't a skit.
I don't know, man.
Could be.
Like I seen, I mean, nowadays I'm starting to think Jeezy's thing was a skit because he got an album coming out this Friday. So,
Bruh, everybody,
Perfect
Everything
timing.
is scared. Everything is content now.
yeah, it's like everything.
Your whole life is content.
Yeah,
That's the best, man. Money is not the root of all evil no more. Attention is.
and that's what we're talking about. That's why I put that right there in the beginning. So we're gonna go ahead and I'll break down attention. How serious is this attention thing, man? I think it's something that's seriously wrong with some of these folks, man. The lengths that they will go through for attention. So let's just go around real quick. Get your thoughts about this attention. How bad is it? Is it just for the women and just for the men? Is it both? Is it what's going on? Attention.
It ain't just for the, it's women. You saying folks and me, you being nice. It's women. Is it ladies? It's you. Men ain't out here looking for attention like that, and where it's to the point where it's detrimental to their relationships. The questions I ask all the time, women, ladies, would you give up your Instagram if your man asks you to? And by and large, women today are saying no. Men have no problem shut down their Instagram, Facebook. For my relationship, oh man, fuck all that social media. Baby, it's all good. We can throw all that shit away. I don't got to log in. Women, not so much. Lady I was dating, I'm not dating her no more. Attention is what caused our problem. Something about male attention today that's opened up because, you know, back in the gray hair man days, all you had was what was in the neighborhood. You know, maybe the homie smashed the girl that was up the block, or y'all went to the same school. It was local. It was real local. And maybe you went to the next city over every once in a while when you guys got older, got cars. It really didn't go outside of your county. Dating. And everybody worked with everybody that was in their area. Social media came, the internet came, FaceTime. Oh man, FaceTime. Where you can, you know, I'm talking, I don't know how many guys grew up on the Jetsons cartoon, where the first iPad and the first FaceTime was ever introduced to the world, where Mr. Sprockly and George Jetson was FaceTiming each other We didn't think that that was ever going to be real. Now you just pick up your phone, you can see your grandma, you can see your uncle, and you can also see guys and girls. And the problem is they've kind of designed media and marketing to make a fake facade. You know, we had, remember the phrase, trying to keep up with the Joneses. So now the Joneses is online, and people, and nobody shows the bad parts of their life. Nobody shows you that their T-Mobile phone bill is getting ready to get cut off. Nobody says about that 3-day notice on the apartment because they didn't pay their rent, haven't paid their rent for the last 3 months. Everybody looks like they rolling, everything is doing good. They don't know that the repo man, they don't tell you that the repo man is looking for their car, or that they riding dirty and couldn't afford to get a smog or get their car fixed or even get insurance. Nobody talks about that stuff. So everybody's life is great. And those who make their life seem the best tend to get the followings and the followers. And so what's happening is, and in my personal opinion, women specifically is looking at that stuff and is running with it. And they're running with that attention. And if you say something, and I mean, I know it makes, because compliments make anybody feel good. Any guy on this panel, man, if a woman was to say you're handsome, wow, you look amazing, or your skin is good. You know, JR's coming out with the new beard stuff next month, and we have t-shirt. Guys we need compliments too, but we don't live by them. Women, if you compliment her, oh man, all you got to do is say the right words and the kind words. You know, the good morning, beautiful texts. That cliche is from men to women. There's no cliche from women complimenting men back like that. And so that attention, now you turn around and you have that coming from everywhere, not just in your neighborhood, but from across the country, across the world, from all over your state, from people that you can just pull up to for, you know, with a quick 4-hour drive, somebody you never ran into, man. That stuff women are falling for, in my personal opinion. And I think you women are being targeted for it specifically. I talked about this on my Instagram the other day. You're being targeted. The whole self-love thing is what I was talking about. You guys are being targeted specifically because playing on your heartstrings is easy because you're slaves to your emotions. And so OnlyFans comes around. And you got a bunch of guys that's out there that's going to give you $5.99 a month to watch you parade around in your panties or go naked or fucking suck on film or on video. And you're getting all the attention in the world. And so now, like we're talking about with Joe Smith and his wife, let's say it is completely fake. Let's say it's completely fake. And they just made a skit. What for? What's the point? If it's real, it's a problem. If it's fake, it's a problem. There's no good outcome for this Joe Smith video that just came out, because if it's fake, what's it for? I know Joe Smith don't give a fuck. So his wife, and somebody had mentioned that they think that what's your boy's name? Aisha Curry and Steph Curry, they think that this is gonna happen to them later on when all the shit wears off. Why do women, and I'll wrap up with this because I know I'll go long. Why do women wake up one day and say, I'm not happy? Because, you know, the attention isn't there anymore, and they want to go seek that shit, and they'll do anything necessary, including wrecking their own home, ruining their relationships to get it. Now, unfortunately, some men will go along with that bullshit, like husbands, or do the videos and let her do silly skits to really emasculate him or make him look stupid, just to make her feel better because they've been together for so long. And he's like, okay, whatever, it's whatever, it don't matter to me. We could do this. And she'll do that shit thinking that it's cute. The problem is the young women that's watching that take that shit for gospel. And that's the problem that I have. Do what you want at home. Have role with your relationships. But when you start indoctrinating the young women and they start believing that shit, thinking that that's real because they're keeping up with the Joneses, then the guys and these young relationships don't last, and everybody's becoming experts on how to break up with each other because they've watched you and what you're doing, and they do this shit in real life when you just playing. That's my thoughts.
All right.
Sorry for going so long.
No, you all good, man. We're gonna dive into the Joe Smith story, but I just want to get you guys' take on attention as a drug. Go ahead, Trey Smooth.
Yeah, it's a disaster. People right now are really just chasing each other's highlight reels, and that's not realistic because, like Shannon said, it's a bunch of nonsense on there. People are not posting their bad moments ever, like when they're struggling, when they can't control their children most of the time. Like they just posting all of this good stuff out here. I mean, unless you like Krishan Rock and Blueface, then you'll you'll see some toxic nonsense. But for real, that's all just for attention. And even with that, I think it's exaggerated, right? And the only thing I see a little bit differently is that men do it too, but it's just a little differently. We call it stunting. You see dudes putting up money phones, and there's a lot of dudes out here that just really want to be a bad bitch, to be honest, right? Dudes sitting there posting selfies. That's weird, right? Like, we don't need to see your progress. If you are a professional trainer, go ahead, you show your progress. But other than that, we don't want to see that. I don't care about that. But dudes are doing it. Dudes really are messing up too. And they really want the attention as well, just like they females out here. Because that's how backwards we are, right? And anything that gives you a dopamine hit is a danger to you. And Instagram understands that. TikTok understands that. You see they poke you, pause. You'll see these things coming up in your notifications. Oh, this person just made a status update. Oh, let me see what that is. Oh, damn, now I got to post something. Even when you flipping through reels, they'll tell you, oh, your last reel did 18,000 views. Post again. So they just promoting for you to just be on there all day. It's designed to keep you on there all day just for their ad dollars. They don't care what it does to society. It's up to us to say, look, this is not what we need. So we're absolutely getting the help right now. And like Shannon was saying earlier, we have access to everyone. It's not just local anymore, right? So if you was a regular chick, you would have to be dealing with a regular dude. But now that you have global access to everyone, right? You see all these dudes and you can kind of filter them out. You don't have to go to the bars no more. You don't have to go to the clubs. You could be right in your house, put some makeup on, twist around, show your behind, and get all of the attention you need and pick which dude you want. They just made it way too easy. So unless we do something about it, I don't know what the hell we can do about it aside from what we do for our children. But the adults that's already out there doing it, it seems like they're gone. You can't get them back. Because it's like drugs. It's like heroin. You don't see people just stop. Once you get that dopamine hit and you used to it and that you wake up and that's what you need in the morning, when you wake up, you turn over and the first thing you picking up is your phone to see what's going on. Oh, wait, damn, I need to post something. I need to post something right now. And you're not putting anything out the world. You're just trying to bring attention to yourself rather than offer enrichment to people. Then, yeah, you gone. I'll leave it there because I know everybody else want to go.
Or if they post something and they notice it don't do good and they take it down and then follow it up with something else. But it is quite alarming though. I've always said this: if you go to somebody's page and you just see nothing but pictures of them, and it goes for the men too, because I've been seeing that lately now. You don't have any, you can do what you want to do, but there's something that is seriously wrong with somebody if all of your pictures are just pictures of you. Different looks, different takes. What else goes on in your life? Not that I care, but it just says something about some deep going on there that you might want to factor in if you just see nothing but pictures. And it's even sadder when you see men do it. You said it like they want to be a bad bitch. Go ahead, Rashawn.
I guess something's wrong with me. Based upon your dynamic of, because I mean, I think a lot of people know that I travel a lot, but I don't really post where I'm at. I don't really post. If you ain't there, you ain't there. I think when I went to Lapeef, when you had the thing in Atlanta, I didn't even post that I was there. I was on other people's stories, but I didn't post that I was there. I don't really operate in that manner. For me. But yeah, if you ain't there to me, you ain't there. But that's just how I operate. But but that doesn't take away from your point. I say that as in, that we know scientifically that there is a dopamine addiction. They say I think the statistic was over 70% of people that's on Facebook is depressed, right? They sitting there scrolling all day. They spending first thing that you do when you wake up, you got to run to your phone. Like that is real. That's not, I didn't say what I said to take away from your point or anything. So I do agree with essentially what y'all saying, Trev, as well as Shannon. But I definitely agree with Trev. I don't think it's just the women though. Shannon, your points are straight valid, but it's a lot of men that's doing the same thing. As Trev said, he's just doing it differently. And at the end of the day, attention. I think that it's the yearning of wanting to be heard. Right? People want to be understood and they want to be heard, and they're not satisfied a lot of times in their own life, or they don't feel like they understood by the closest people to them. So they got to create this image all online, or they just want to try to do the things that kind of make them happy to see things, which is that dopamine addiction, because they not feeling right in their own self. Because people who actually, all of the people that I know, from my standpoint, and there could be exceptions to the rule, that are actually movers and shakers, they don't really post like that online. They really don't. From what I see, obviously, if you're online, it's a business. Like obviously, a lot of us is, we create content. You got to get those dollars. I'm not telling you not to do it if that's your thing, but the people like the real estate agents, and even then they probably have a social media, but they don't really post. Like they working, what I mean? They out, they had business meetings and the whole, not like they not really posting that much online. So, that's just from my vantage point. Again, it could be exceptions to the rule, but yeah, attention is definitely a drug today, because I think that people want to be heard and they're not being heard in their own life, in real life.
Go ahead, Marcus.
I think all the brothers right. I mean, what Jay say, the game is a light bulb that's 11 million watts, and I'm just a moth addicted to the flame. I think most people is addicted to the fame. They're addicted to attention. Like y'all all said, it's a dopamine hit. It really is. And when your dopamine center gets activated, it's gonna keep you wanting just like a crackhead to re-engage that high and then chase that high as long as you can. And it's never gonna be the same. It's always gonna be a cup with a hole in it. No matter what you pour in it, it's gonna be a cup with a hole in it. I think I reluctantly kind of got into social media, right? Because I'm kind of like Ali when it comes to like you just would have had to see me there. Like I met Rilla a couple weeks ago. He ended up going live, and I accepted I went in there and pressed the thing just because it was at that time. But I wasn't about to, take a picture and post it. But again, I think that's an era thing, and I'll be the first to admit it. I was real late to the beat when it came to social media, like real late. I think I went 5 or 6 years without even opening Instagram. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to get acclimated now, because as I said in the previous episode, the era that I originally came from and really like made my bones in was the publicity era, where other people had to say it for you. It was only 2 magazines or 2 newspapers, or the hood would speak for you, and you couldn't just say something because it needed to be verified by everybody else. So I'm struggling with like really engaging in this era and understanding that it's okay to say stuff about yourself, and it's not I don't know. I don't know what the exact word for it would be, is because conceited ain't really the word, but I struggle with what that word would be. I'm trying to like navigate that space myself. But yeah, attention is definitely a drug. It'll ruin friendships, ruin relationships, marriages, your relationship with your kids. Same thing drugs do. They tear you down at the base level and remove all the things you love for that thing. I done seen what Master P and his family falling out over attention, right? Him and his son. marriages, Aisha Curry, like it's a real drug. It really is. And it's a lucrative thing too. Like with any other drug, it's probably the #1 drug in America right now, maybe the world. Yeah, but I definitely agree.
Yeah, I think more people just got to be aware that it's actually happening, because when that doesn't happen no more, then what happens to you? You know, you begin to be in this low vibration because you're not getting that attention that you used to, or you're looking at everybody else and you're focused on these women are younger. They're younger, so of course they're going to be in better shape and look better than you. Not all the time, but now you find yourself in competition with everything else that you see because you want to make sure that you stay on top. Go ahead, Luis. What are your thoughts about it?
Yeah, vainglorious is the word I think he was looking for.
Say it again. What's the word?
So what's the word again?
Vainglorious.
Vain. Like, all right.
Yeah, vainglorious. Not conceited. It's different. Vainglorious describes what you was trying to describe.
Perfect. I'm gonna look it up and add that to the. I appreciate that.
All right. Well, Luis.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good build. You know, I really do like what Ali said. You know, people who are actually loved, heard, and respected in their real life are not looking for validation on social media. You know what I'm saying? People who are actually loved, respected, and heard, and have actual fruitful conversations with their loved ones, with their parents. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of funny we're actually talking about this because I just came back from vacation and the first phone call I got was from my parents. You know what I'm saying? I got a phone call from my sister. I got a phone call from, you know, a number of people that are in my circle, right? In the morning, I get messages from my uncle. In the morning, I get messages from other loved ones, you know, just checking up on me, just random, right? And whether it's a voice note or voice text, you know, those conversations are much more meaningful than scrolling through social media or reading the comments on social media, right? What did we do prior to social media? We were in spaces together. You know what I'm saying? You go into social spaces and interact, talk about sports, you know, talk about, you know, history, talk about whatever current events are actually happening. You know what I'm saying? Some cause that is actually going on in your neighborhood that is affecting you. You know what I'm saying? That you might feel a certain way about, that you want to see change happening. That happens in real space, in real time, right? We are just more interconnected on a global level because of globalization, that we use social media as a vehicle in order to reach out to the masses that we normally wouldn't have access to within our reach, within our community, right? And sort of, I think it's really has changed the paradigm that I don't think that a lot of people understood the sort of the drawback and the fallback of what it has created. It's created a bit of a monster. You know, people have short fuses, quick to react, very aggressive. You know, a lot of people today tend to be, you know, quick reaction. You ever seen somebody in front of a computer where the internet is a little bit slow? They just lose it. Like the attention span is just not there anymore. And I think that that's a huge problem. One of the things that I talked about, and I've mentioned this before, I remember when social media went down just for a few days, even like a day or two, the amount of people that didn't know what to do with themselves. Go outside, you know, read a book, paint, draw, do something. There's so many things to do, especially with people who are in your proximity that you can engage with, that doesn't necessarily involve just scrolling through. But this has become such the norm that a lot of people don't necessarily know anything outside of that. And I think it becomes a danger because once, you know, all this data collection and they could just turn it off and turn it on, shoot, what if it was off for like 3 months? I will promise you that the suicide rate would jump right high because there's a lot of people that just don't know how to cope without it. It has become a drug. They need that constant dopamine hit. You know what I'm saying? And that constant validation and that constant attention. That is really the new currency today. Attention. That is the new currency. And a lot of people haven't woken up from, from their sleep paralysis that they're going through, just constantly scrolling through. But that's all I got.
All right. Go ahead, Sir Hale. We're talking about attention as a drug.
Absolutely. Can you guys hear me pretty well?
A little bit of feedback.
A little bit of feedback. How about now? Are we better?
No, I still hear it. It's just like some type of frequency, like it need to be grounded.
Dang it. All right. Do I need to go out and come back in?
Whatever you just did, you made it sound more. You made it like.
So I'm sorry. It's worse?
Yes. Whatever you just did there.
Yeah, it's just like it might just be some wires that might be close to each other, or I mean, you can try to go back out and come back in.
I'll go back out, come back in. Yeah.
I'll go ahead, Cloud Jones.
Hi. I pretty much agree with most of what everyone else has said so far, but I did want to offer something from a slightly different perspective. So I wrote down a couple things. I was thinking, I think one thing that we kind of overlook is that social media, although it is a drug, it is addictive. Attention is addictive, but I think a lot of it is also it's people's attempt to contribute to society. I think this is people's attempt to engage into society. And I think that maybe not our generation, but the generation underneath us, I think that they've been conditioned to believe that the appropriate way to contribute to society is by sharing their life on social media. And they've been conditioned that if they don't get a certain reaction, then they haven't properly contributed to society. So I think a part of it is just about dopamine and just about addiction. I do agree with that. But I think there's more social consequences than that we're overlooking. Like during our generation, we talk about, if you wanted to talk to a woman, you go out to the club. There's not even that many clubs no more. Like, and the culture of clubs has completely changed. Like when I was in college going out to clubs, $5-10 could get you in a club, and you could drink all night and have a great time for less than $100, and people would be dancing, jumping on speakers, going wild. This generation, you can't go to the club if you're not spending $1,000. You got to get bottles, you got to get this and that, you got to get the fit, you got to get the look. It's an entirely different culture, and so everything's changed. Clubs are closing, lounges aren't popping like they used to. There's not really that many community events. People aren't really engaged in church. So there's not really many ways that, especially the youth generation, feel like they can actually contribute to society besides being on social media. So it's like a catch-22 because it's kind of designed that way. Social media has like a monopoly over social interaction in general. A lot of people don't even know how to engage outside of social media because those outlets have been stripped from them. Sure, that you could say sports. A lot of these communities don't have the sports. A lot of these communities don't have a strong church family like I did when I was young. When I was young, the people that I was closest to were the people that I grew up in church with. And the people that lived on my block. Nowadays, people don't even know their neighbors, and they're not going to church. They don't have those connections. So yeah, we can say it's definitely an addiction, and it's definitely about dopamine. But we gotta consider that society has also completely changed. And so, we were talking about, people taking pictures and all of that. How is that any different than getting your flyers fit to go out to the club? I mean, I don't necessarily agree with like the perspective that it's somehow feminine for men to take pictures of themselves, because to me it's no different than getting fly and posting up on the block. Like that's what men have always done. It's just that the outlet's not there. You can't really post up on the block no more because nobody's outside. I'm gonna give you an example. I was in Houston this weekend, downtown, and usually downtown area is the busiest part of any city, right? There was nobody outside. Like literally, there was nobody outside the whole weekend, even at night when it was supposed to be lit. Literally, ghost town. And like, and it was like, if you look at old pictures of like the 80s, as you go back every set of years, 70s, 60s, 50s, and you look at pictures of the streets, There were people outside, literally. Like nowadays, we say we outside, but literally back then, people were literally on the streets everywhere. You couldn't go nowhere and not run into people. So it's like the society is very different. You know, it's very different. Everybody's inside, everybody's in front of a computer, and the only way they know how to react is through these platforms. So it's like really, it's about creating a new culture so that people have new outlets that are not digital and not social media platforms. But again, social media has somewhat of a monopoly on the dopamine, and we need the dopamine. I mean, dopamine is natural. We're supposed to get healthy levels of it, but when social media has a monopoly over it, and they the only ones on the block that got it, they gonna get you hooked because they gonna make sure that they only distribute dopamine to you in a way that works for them. They're not while everything else in the community is shutting down, amusement parks closing, clubs closing, dance halls closing, skate rinks closing, restaurants closing. So it's a tough situation, but I definitely agree with everything else that the other men have offered thus far.
All right, go ahead, brother.
Claude Jones, let me ask.
Hold
My
on.
bad. I just
No,
wanted
go-
to ask Claude Jones real quick. Do you post selfies like that?
Not really. I mean, every once in a while, you know, let's say I get real fly and I'm really feeling myself type shit. Like, yeah, you know, if my fit crazy and I might be out lit with shorty or whatever, I might, yeah, you know, y'all got to see this motherfucker. You feel me? But to me, that's no different than posting up on the block, or like, that's no different than when niggas get their car washed, and they pull up on the block, open all the doors, roll all the windows down, bumping their loudest song. You know why we do. You know why. It's a flex. It's the show up.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's stunting. That's what I'm saying. Now, with that, you don't think that's weird? Like, because even if we take the social media aspect out of it, right? It's still men starving for attention, right? You want validation from outsiders, and that's why I say
I
it's
don't
weird
think, I don't
because
think
you
it's
should.
weird. I don't think it's weird because
Nah.
if you look at even the type of music, a lot of the popular music we listen to, like "On My Mama," "On My Hood," "I Look Fly," "I Look," like it, like a part of hip hop is that feeling of I'm that nigga. And sometimes I'm not saying you should be like that every day, like that should be your focal point. I think it's okay for you sometimes to be in. It's a feeling, and sometimes I feel like it's okay. Sometimes I think it's okay to be in that feeling and enjoy that vibe. You
So
know what I
so
mean?
sometimes
You
it's
going
okay
out.
to be a bad bitch. That's what you're saying.
That I don't agree that that's being a bad bitch. I think that that's being a fly nigga. I don't think there's nothing
I,
wrong with being a fly nigga. I
all
don't
right,
think being a
now
fly nigga is equal to being a bad bitch.
so it's the point that I'm saying is like, all right, if you know who you are, right, you know what it is that you do. That's cool. But once you start to put it out there where you need it from other people, you need people to look at you, you need people to like you, you need people to pay you attention. I'm gonna turn my music all the way up so everyone's looking at me, right? I understand like when you're a juvenile, that makes sense. But when you're starving for attention, you're begging for attention as an adult, to me, it's always gonna be weird.
I agree if it's a need. I absolutely agree that if it's a need, then it's strange. But I don't think there's anything. I don't think it being a want is wrong. I think that you know human beings are multifaceted, and sometimes that's how you're feeling. You know, sometimes I mean we're social creatures. We're a social species. We don't do well without to some degree we need validation from others to some degree. Obviously it shouldn't be the focal point of our lives and we shouldn't thrive off of it, but you need it. You don't know if you're doing a good, like for example, if you're playing a sport, you have to play with other people. You don't know if you're good at it unless you got somebody to play against. So technically you need that validation to even be to consider yourself a worthy competitor. The validation is necessary. That's why we watch basketball. They're literally playing against each other for validation. That's the reason why the Kobe wanted the validation that he was the best player in the world. And how did he get that validation? By constantly playing against other players and proving it. So it's like I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just think that social media has become the only outlet to express that. And by social media become the only outlet to express that, it's become unhealthy. But I don't think it's unhealthy to do it in other ways. Like if you just bought a brand new car and your speakers is thumping and it's outside the club and you know what I mean, and it's that time, you know, there's always a time to play. Why shouldn't you stunt? Why shouldn't you go get your car waxed and stand outside your car with your boys, smoke your blunt and holler at the shorties? Why not? That's what the club was made for. Now, if you're doing that every day of the week and you're not paying your bills, you're not focusing on your job, and it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you're out trying to do that, then of course I would 100% agree with you that that's corny. You know what I mean? So
Okay, I think I can.
everything's moderation and balance.
Yeah, I can understand what he's saying. Rev. Like I think Cloud is basically saying it's okay to do it here and there. I think Travis, then if you're doing this shit every day and you go, hold on, I gotta get it. And it's like you're starving for attention and this is your daily thing where you have to take a picture of your fit. You're constantly posting pictures of yourself. If you're cut up, you're constantly posting pictures just of you flexing and different poses. Then it becomes too much. Then you looked at as a bad bitch but I think Cloud just saying there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, we all do it to a certain degree. Whether we dressing nicely, we looking good for our wife, or vice versa, she's looking good for her husband. If you do get a new car, sometimes you do. You may pull up on your uncle or something, or your family. Oh, okay, I see you, but you're not starving for it. Starving for it is like, hold on, I got to get out. Every light you get now, you're trying to take a picture. I got to post this. Because you need that validation from others.
They looking.
But to Trey's point too, I can see if you're a fly person, you ain't got to take pictures of yourself. Other people are gonna take the pictures for you. And you may be scrolling on the internet like, oh, somebody called me, or she's taking pictures and sending it to her buddies. Like, look at this motherfucker right here. So I think I want to say,
yeah, you know what they do when they take the pictures for you? They know you ain't go post it, they be pretending like it's theirs. I don't know if y'all ever experienced that before. They be, I know you ain't about to put that online. Let me, right, bro, go ahead, man. You got it.
Yeah. We're gonna try to slide you in that pic, man. Go ahead, Hank. We're gonna finish off with you and let's go ahead and dive into this topic.
Man, look, shout out to all the bad bitches, I guess. It is what it is. Yeah. I don't know, man. I guess I'm just more old school, man. I don't want none of you motherfuckers see what I'm doing, because I'm gonna move like I need to move. I don't want you to know where I'm going. I'm not gonna tell it. I had to train my lady. Look here, we're not gonna be posting pictures where we at while we still where we at. That doesn't make sense to me. If I'm still in Jamaica, why are we posting pictures of Jamaica so somebody could come knock down my home? Nah, I'm not doing that shit. Cause I don't trust you, son of bitches. I gotta keep my eyes on you. Make sure y'all do right. So
talk to him, OG.
I'm just saying, man. It's just how I roll. I don't do a lot of posting of myself, especially if I'm doing that. I'm doing it because I'm trying to promote what I got going on as far as my YouTube channel and other stuff. I'll definitely promote my son because it's just my son, and he's playing ball. So just want to get him out there too. I did that especially when he was in high school. But anything else, I really don't do all that taking selfies and nothing like that. It's just,
I don't care.
It's just not my style, man. But I understand why some people do it. They like to do what they do. Now, my lady, we not posting. You're not messing my meal up, and I got to delay me put my fork to my mouth because you want to take a goddamn picture. We're not doing this shit. If I don't drink, if I was a drink, you're not taking a drink of my damn shot of Woodford. No, we're not doing this, man. Let me eat in peace. Let's enjoy the atmosphere. Let's enjoy the moment. Take pictures all you want, but we ain't got to post every goddamn thing. It's not for everybody to know what you're doing. Take it in, enjoy life. How do you really enjoy it when you too busy taking pictures all the goddamn time? You can't. I don't think so. Maybe I'm just too old fashioned, though. It's just me.
All right. Go ahead, Sir Hill.
Okay. Am I better now?
Much better.
Salute to Sir Ali, to Luis, to Cloud Jones, Hink in the building, Trev Smooths, Marcus, Shannon, and the one and the only JR. Shout out to the chat. So as I was thinking about what we're talking about, it's a profound question that I think needs investigation. So here's my perspective on this. I think a lot of people use social media and need attention because so many people were neglected. If you are somewhere between 20 and 40, it is a very good chance that you didn't get the attention you needed as a child. So attention for most folks is not simply about like my picture, love it, comment, tell me how amazing I am. It's a deeper psychological, emotional, biological issue that's kind of all intertwined. So let me give an example. So let's say we've got kids, and those first 5 years, we're literally imprinting on our children, letting them know whether or not they're loved or they're protected, if they're seen, if they're important. And so if we don't give our children the attention that they need, which communicates to them that they are significant, that they are important, that they matter, on a subconscious level, we grow up seeking to get the attention we missed in our early childhood. And what we're doing is we're chasing a high, which is why you see so many people who don't get the attention have tantrums that are very identical to the tantrums that children have themselves. So while I do agree that that attention is a drug, I do think it speaks to a cultural issue that we have, that when the workforce changed and mothers were not able to, or didn't, however you want to spin it, were not able to give the children the proper attention, because you cannot have multiple children without a father and work and go to church and go to the gym and chase the bag and provide the level of emotional stability and foundation to your kids and be good. You cannot do it. So because we pushed our women to go to work and chase the bag and get the degrees, our kids are suffering because they have a deficit, and they're literally going around trying to medicate themselves from a pain that was inflicted from the wounds of their parents not paying them attention, which as a child translates as you're not important. So I think attention is a drug, but it's not a drug in the sense that people are just simply looking to get high. I think it's a drug in the sense that people are looking to medicate a pain because they feel like they genuinely don't matter. And so I think while the attention has a negative side, I do think that there are some positives that we can extrapolate in the sense that some people have found community online. Like take for instance, JR. We got a chance to meet you. Shannon, I got a chance to meet him at the Black Management Conclave, one of the most coolest brothers. So you take this from a lot of us men or in young women who didn't get this growing up, getting the positive attention and attention that makes you look at yourself and want to be better is, to me, a benefit. It's just that so many people succumb to peer pressure and they conform to whatever's going to get the most likes, even if it comes to the detriment of who they are as a person. So I'll conclude by saying this. I think that the need for attention is not just that people have woke up one day and said, let me do this. I think big business, I think that technology, I think that the people who are behind this, they have all this research that they can target the pain of people and benefit from it. And so just like in the real world, people who are impoverished, they are a source of income for rich people. I think when it comes to attention, that people who were devoid of attention, who live at a deficit, are big bank for people who prey on the attention and create social media platforms to profit off of people's pain.
That was well said, Sir. I like that, man. Let's say practice in that set. Positive.
We have a social media therapist in place.
It's funny. An article just came out. I was sharing with my wife a couple of years ago. I said, we don't have enough data in terms of what this has done to us on a psychological level. You guys may have seen it, but I don't know if it was published by Pew Research or I forgot, but they published this. And so Meta is being sued. Now, I don't want to get too deep into this because, but they're being sued by, I think, 30 or 40 different states because of the psychological impact that it has had on children. Think about this, 30 or 40 states, it has become such a huge thing that they have taken this up in courts. I say this to say, social media filled a void that broken families created. And we all want to matter. I want to say, I forgot who said it before, but we all want to matter. Not only do we want to hear, we want to be seen, and we want to know that my existence means something, and that the sum total of my life is not just going to pay bills, going to somebody's job, coming home, going to the laundromat, get me some fast food, going back home, watching my television shows, going to church on Sunday. I want my life to be more than that. And I think that people get attention on social media and they use it to fill that void.
You made a good point. It's funny, the CEO of TikTok, and most of them, they said they children don't even have it.
Facts. That's a fact. Yep.
Children don't even allow their children to have it. And then again, if people aren't, the way the brain is your brain is meant to think, or was created to think right. So when there is depression that's there, when it's sadness that's there, it looks to try to find ways of resetting itself to make you feel better so you can operate and think on a higher level. However, when you don't have the right coping mechanisms that's there, and what social media does, it oversaturates something, and then now it's like a need, as everybody has been talking about. It becomes a need, which is why over 70% of people that's on Facebook, according to the statistics, are depressed. They are depressed, and you just sitting there like your whole life. If you notice this, they get your woman, they get a meme. She see a meme online, she sends it to you. Right? Or your whole relationship, you probably could go on your DMs or your text messages. She probably sending you a whole bunch of memes that's online. Yeah. Or now your questions in the house. It's not really intelligent questions or intelligent conversations, but when you come home, she's asking you questions based upon what she's seen online. Not her, so she allowing social media to shape up her thoughts to ask you questions, not something coming from her within herself. She allowing something else, something artificial, to be able to guide her in her relationships, and her relationship dealing with you, and that becomes toxic. That becomes a recipe of disaster, because anything that you give too much is, excuse me, it's in the Holy Quran, it's a chapter called the food. Now, it's not talking about just physical food, but it's talking about the food that you feed your mind. And anything that you give your mind too much, you're eating that, and it's shaping you in your actions, or how you're reacting to things and how you handle things and the whole 9 yards. So if you look at your phone and you get those updates, I got an iPhone, every Sunday, if everybody got iPhone, you get that update giving you stats on if you've been just, what you spending your time on when you looking at your phone. If social media is the number one thing that you've been spending most of the time on your phone, and you see those hours out of that, it's 168 hours in a week, and you look at those hours, bruh, unless you really getting money off the line, that's the only probably exception to the rule, because obviously that's your job. That's a full-time job if you're going to take it seriously. But most people ain't making money online. Let's just be clear here, So, yeah, good point. So everybody made good valid points for the arguments.
Yeah, Ali, I think one of the things that you pretty much highlighted was, comparison is the thief of joy. And a lot of people are comparing their life and feeling depressed to somebody they don't know, that they've never met, that they don't even know their life story or their background, what they're going through, or where they are in life. They're just comparing. They're doing this. They're the same age as I am. I should be doing that. Not understanding that that person might be buried in debt. You're not understanding that that person might be borrowing their whole lifestyle.
And
stealing, you know what I'm saying, and doing a number of things just to appear and appease the people that look how great my life is. And if you really look behind the veil closely, a lot of people are frauds. They're not living or leading the life that they're saying that they are, right? And they got people on the outside looking in, thinking, damn, I'm missing out. Not realizing that that person's entire life is fabricated. You know what I'm saying? They're stressing their stuff. They're stressing themselves out. They're stressing themselves out in their relationship. And they're stressing themselves out in order to kind of catch up to something that is a mirage, that is a lie, that is fictitious, and it's not there.
I think people
Social media ain't create that problem though.
I was about to say it's listen.
No, that problem is living rent free in a lot of people's minds.
No, yeah, but I'm not. First of all, I don't want to see none of your bad problems online. That's first of all. Don't want to see that. You should post up the good parts of yourself. Period. I'm not. I'm not. I don't want people to misconstrue saying that. Oh yeah, post up when you're struggling in the whole 9 yards. No, sir, that's too much. That's too much negative energy. I don't need that for myself. I got my own goddamn problems. All right. So I'm not saying that. However, it's because it's social media is a movie. It's a movie. Know that this is the good parts of someone's life at the moment. It's just a moment. It's literally just a moment. But we take everything as Luis as a
Luis.
My bad, Luis. Brother Luis, we take everything and we try to paintbrush like there's no ups and downs in people's lives. Like it's up. Anybody, it's like you looking at the rapper, all you just see is this quote unquote the success, quote unquote, whatever they showing you. But it's a struggle, right? We look at Beyonce, you see her put on a great show. But she put time in practicing hard work away from her children, and she got a husband, and it's a struggle that comes with anything great that you see, right? So we have to always be mindful of that and everything. I didn't say that to take away from your point, Luis. Anything, because I agree with you. But I just don't want people to think that you don't need to be posting up your negative stuff online. You keep your dirty laundry in-house. All right. You work that thing out. Now you don't need to place your business all out in the street in the whole 9 yards. But just know that, I'm not no fool. I see, somebody stunting, I'm in Houston or I'm in the Turks and Caicos. You had a moment. I'm glad that you was able to walk away from your problems for a short moment to go and handle your business on vacation, the whole 9 yards. But when you get back from Turks and Caicos, it's back to business. That's how I'm looking at it, because I know everybody got to handle their business. No one is just even in its levels. Just because you see somebody with money doesn't mean that they're not struggling in other aspects of their life. Like money is not the all and be all. So many people with money that is depressed, you know what I mean? Because we want those problems. You quote unquote say you want it, but to keep that status or that money in, that's hard work.
Well, I mean, look at Shannon. You're an entrepreneur. You've built businesses. You've built relationships, right? People see the polished version of you. They don't understand the late nights that you put in, the hard work. Some months, are very very low, right? Before the highs come along. A lot of people don't understand that, but they want what you want. They like the presentation, they like the cleanliness, but they don't understand the grind and the hard work behind the scenes that it took to get there. And sort of what we're selling is the finished product, and people want to buy in, but a lot of those people don't have the backbone or the wherewithal to understand that they need to be able to put themselves in a mental mind state in order to go through the journey that Shannon has gone, that JR has gone, that Trev has gone, that Hank has gone, all of us. You know what I'm saying? And everybody out there who is looking to strive to that level. And unfortunately, even if I remember I saw an interview with Gary Vee, and there was a kid that had asked him, he was like, if he's not a millionaire by 24, that he had failed in life. You know what I'm saying? Not understanding you have an entire life to live. You might not do it by 24. It might be 34. It might be 44. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more road ahead. And unfortunately, a lot of young people, because this is King Talk and we are talking to a younger demographic, right? They miss the mark by thinking that, you know what I'm saying, you're supposed to hit a home run right out of the gate. And that's the biggest lie that, social media has presented to a lot of young people, thinking that, you know what I'm saying, instant gratification is supposed to hit. You're gonna have to, grind your teeth out for a little bit before you get there.
JR.
You know what? I completely understand that though. because there's never the process, right? And it doesn't mean that you post toxic behavior, but I think it is important for people who have no idea of it, who don't have positive role models, who don't have available parents, to be able to see that there's a process and they can't just see you at the finish line because they don't get to see that part, right? And when they think that this is what it's supposed to be, that they have no idea on how to get there. And I think that it's important that we also include, like, just while you're going through it, your perspective. We need to see the perspective of it. So even when bad things happen to you, I think they should witness it, but see how you can overcome it. See that you still have a positive mindset. That, listen, this is part of the hard work. This happens sometimes, right? I'm not always winning. I'm having down week right now, but I'm going to be good. I know I'm going to be good, and I'm going to show you how we're going to get to where we need to be. I think you need to include that. I'm going to challenge myself to do that, to just literally just post some low lights, right? Just some of the process, some of the struggle, because we all do it, but nobody gets to see it. They just, especially as an influencer, most of us on this panel, if not all of us, are influencers, at least to some extent, and they see the finished product, but they don't get to see the process. They don't know how much other things you have to deal with in life. And like I said, your business is your business. You don't have to show them anything about your relationship if that's not what your topic is. But whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you're promoting, I think they should have a good understanding of every aspect of it, and certainly the process.
And I'm not even against that, Trav. Like, cool. You know, I think that letting someone know that, you know, what they say, everybody want the glory, but they don't want to go through the struggle to get the glory, right? I get that. I'm not mad at that at all, you know. But what happens is when people come to the down point, or when they're going through something, they post all they personal. You see it. People get in the breakup. What happened? Oh, that nigga ain't this. He did this, or she did it. Like, it's this thing all on. I don't want to see that. I didn't come on what's name to see that. You see people, you know, oh, yo, you know, I just lost such and such. Like, you in a whole relationship. If you can't, it's so many people that tell us their business, but they don't even feel comfortable telling their person who they sleep with every night certain things. Like, it's crazy. I shouldn't say crazy. It's backwards in the world that we living in. If a woman is willing to be open to, because she feel like she's able to talk to a stranger that don't know her, say, yeah, when I was young, I was molested, but her husband don't even know that. How are you bettering your marriage? See, we want to be understood, but we don't want to do the things that it takes for someone to better understand us, like honest, open, and transparency in the people who actually care about you in your life. Because now that person's able, you know what? Now, every time I do this, my wife has she has it triggers her to, she does this thing. And now you don't know what that triggering about. You just see her act a certain way, but it's because something that happened to her when she was 12, but her husband don't even know that. Or it might be because boys get molested too. A woman might be laying with her husband, and he might be triggered with something, and you don't even. These are the seek attention from those that you are living with every day, not people online. They don't really care.
Nope.
You have exceptions to the rules. But for the most part, bro, I'm saying what I'm saying because I want us to better our lives personally. Instagram ain't gonna let me know how you living. Facebook is not letting me really know how you live. I don't know. I don't believe in social media at all. I don't have that in it. Now, it's very few people that I do meet in person that they are the same person online that they is in person. They're not now, but that's a case-by-case situation. Now, I can believe everything that you put online at that point because I know you personally. But if I don't know you personally, then I don't believe it. Listen, I don't know Hank personally, But Hank say some things that's gems. I don't throw away the baby with the bathwater. I take what I can learn from and I keep it moving. You understand what I'm saying? At the end of the day, so this is how we should be. I just want to say things that's going to help us in reality, not social media. Social media doesn't even matter to us.
Well,
I definitely get what you're saying. The only thing that I was saying is that. All right, go ahead.
No, I'm gonna say, man, look, guys, ladies, y'all keep doing what y'all doing. Fuck what these dudes talking about. Y'all keep being bad bitches. Because let me tell you what I want y'all to do. Y'all gonna keep informing us. Y'all gonna tell your whole God. I'm talking to every lady out there. Y'all gonna tell us all your whole life story. So make it easy on a brother like me. So now I can just stop asking you all the goddamn question. You're gonna post everything I need to know. You can't hold water. Thank you, ladies, for doing that. Thank you, ladies, for spilling your beans. Thank you for snitching on yourself. Thank you for letting me know how your friends are. So now I can cipher through the bullshit a lot easier because you're doing what you're doing. I know everything about you. I know every dude you slept with because you post them. Relationships still slip on there. You done said some things here and there that I'm going to have questionable comments you done said or done did to your other relationship. You gonna tell her like my man, that ninja ain't shit. Oh, okay. Is that how it's gonna be if we get into a rough spot? Is that how you communicate? Instead of talking to me, you're gonna talk to everybody who really don't give a goddamn about you. Some of them are praising your misery, but you gonna let everybody know what's going on. Cool. You the heifer that won't get picked by Hink. You the heifer that won't get blessed by my goddamn last name. You the heifer ain't gonna make it. You'll get left at a goddamn restaurant. I'll be damned. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing. Fuck these dudes. They don't know what they talking about, ladies. I encourage you to keep putting your business out there.
Hey, real quick. Hink is speaking on what I was talking about when I said women. Hink, thank you, Hink, brother. Hink came in like Kobe in the clutch. We're talking about what I was speaking about with women. Yes, I realize men want attention too. I realize men are addicted, but men do it for different reasons. Women's attention is different than men's, especially when it comes to social media, because oftentimes it's to the detriment of a relationship, of real relationships when it comes to women. It's to the detriment of a human interaction when it comes to women, because women tend to monetize their sexuality and men don't. And by monetizing your sexuality, you introduce debauchery and immorality. You know, for instance, if guys, somebody mentioned the money phone a little while back. You know, guys on there flexing. Maybe a guy's flexing his car. You know, as Clout said, you know, flexing his car, showing his achievements. That by and large, that's applauded by everybody. Everybody wants achievement. To say for a guy to come on, even, and if we do it in a really crass hood nigga way by putting money phones up or fronting or showing my Cuban link or making it seem like I'm iced out or showing where I'm dressed fly and all that, is typically to say, listen, I'm not in poverty and I'm doing okay. And ladies, if you need a man to provide for you, I have the ability to do so. And so, since we're all achieving for success in life, I'm showing you that I'm there. This is something that women want as well. And never is that looked at as, damn, why are you showing off how well you're doing in life? Nobody says, damn, how, so you picked up a new Tesla. Why are you showing off no, nobody really says that. It says, oh, wow. Okay, congratulations. What's next? What's your next step? So that's where the men are. Women, on the other hand, is what Hink was saying. Up here talking shit. You know, typically whenever there's a relationship issue, it's women that run off and start posting about it. I forget the Jewish actor that just had it. He said his girlfriend was surfing and shit. His we learned later on, it was his ex-girlfriend. He didn't have a baby, and that was years ago. And she put it out there, you know what? Making it seem like he was some controlling dude simply because he didn't want his girl to be in a bikini and whatnot. If there's an issue with a relationship, it's online. It's even we see this in celebrity shit. We look at Jada Pinkett. It's like I'm gonna write a book about it. yeah, this is what me and Will did, and we've been broke up for 7 years, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, goddamn, you need that kind of attention. If the attention that women display online is typically to the detriment of relationships, interpersonal relationships with humans in real life. You guys don't know too many men that his online presence is fucking up his relationship at home. You guys don't know too many dudes who's, man, I just got to post, or his post is pissing off his wife, or he's half naked and shit, walking around in his drawers, trying to monetize his sexual attributes. Women, they got the little sexy shit. They do the little fake nip slip to make it seem like their nipple is coming out, but they really dog. I'm around models all the time. I see them setting. I'm like, what are y'all doing? Oh, you setting up the nipple. So you want to make it look like the nipple almost kind of, you didn't know that the photo had the nip slip. I see what y'all I watch them do it. They do it at my studio right outside. And I'll be like, God damn, but be having boyfriends at home. So that's the difference that I wanted to mention. Yes, I know guys have they want that dopamine hit too, but we want that dopamine hit based on status, not attention. Men want status, typically amongst other men. Hey man, I'm allowed to be in your group. I'm allowed to hang out with you. I'm here. I have something to offer. I just can I hang out with you brothers, because I want to offer something and I want to and learn from you as well. Women, it's just strictly for look at me. Just look at me. I'm pretty today. And it's like, and if a man says, hey, you don't need nobody to look at you for that reason, I'm here to look at you for that. Yeah, but you're just my man. I want to see it from all these strangers to look at me in this. And it's just like, that's what I was talking about when I'm saying the issue is with women. Thank you, Hank.
Shannon, would you? Oh,
yeah. So we got to transition. We'll be on this attention thing. We'll get to this topic. Just Dario, member of 24 months at Green Gang. Shout out to my Green Gang that's out there. Miss Polly White, $5. Good evening, panel. Great convo. Shout out to Sir Hill and Hink. He choosing. I got quiet on that one. I was hoping I ain't said nothing wrong. I'm like, damn, I hope ain't nobody wife I just said that. Some of y'all wives be coming up in the, yeah. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead and get into this main topic, which is Joe Smith finds out his wife has an OnlyFan after years of marriage. Play this clip.
I can't believe I'm sitting here just finding out you got an OnlyFans page. Out of all these years, the disrespect that comes with it, that you couldn't even talk to me before you did it, that's bullshit, yo. That's fucked up, Keith. I'm telling you, that's fucked up.
Wait, no, calm. But you're not gonna say fuck me or that's fucked up. It's not fucked up.
You recording me? What the fuck you doing?
Listen, it's not fucked up, and we're going to. Okay, look. So, I have an OnlyFans page, and he's mad because he's just now finding out about it.
Of course, I'm mad I'm just finding out about it.
I'm not doing it with anybody but myself, so why should I have to tell you? My choice, my body, my fucking choice.
I'm your partner. You're supposed to come to me and talk to me.
Joe, I've been talking to you about mad things. I've been asking for solutions to shit. You're not giving me none, so I created one.
That's no solution. Not in my book. That's no solution.
You knew who the fuck I was when you met me.
Before,
I knew that. Thought that I would never have to go back to anything like this again.
Beforehand,
but unfortunately, that's not the case right now.
After that, everything's supposed to change.
Everything did change.
No. Obviously, it hasn't.
No, it had to. I had to do something.
Hasn't. You stood out there showing your body. You stood out there doing stuff like this on camera.
You act like that's the only thing that I do. I have mad jobs, but they're not facilitating everything that needs to be done. So I got something extra. OnlyFans be breaking me off. What the fuck?
Come on, Keish, with that. It don't matter what they breaking you off. It's the disrespect that comes with it.
What disrespect?
You couldn't come and talk to me about it.
Okay, well, we're talking about it now.
Because I had to find out on the fly.
All right, then. But now, okay.
No,
so wait.
I had to find out on the fly.
So now you know.
Yeah, now I know.
Okay. And so, whatever. I've been doing what I have to do, period. Like, that's bottom line. That's what it is.
Man, this is fake.
He ain't mad enough for me.
Bro, this is, first of all, he was trying to hold back his smile.
Yeah.
This is what happens when even the older generation trying to do what young people doing. Like, bro, like, I mean, if we're gonna talk about it for the sake to see, like, just to talk about it, but that is fake. That it's clearly it's fake. You could just see it. Like, they bad actors. That's why Shannon has not got them on any movies at all, because no damn well they can't act good. He was sorry in the league and he's sorry at acting. All right, he trenched from whatever he trying to do, and bro, please, man, go ahead, Marcus.
I was gonna ask you, are you saying that they acting in the video fake or that scenario fake?
They acting, bro. That whole they came up with that, bro. It came up.
I think the OnlyFans situation is real.
I'm
though.
not even going to school to see to start calling him a simp. He just played a simp role. If that is, he just played a simp role right now, right? I'm not even going to call him, or just like, I don't even know how his wife. This what happens when you get married for long enough, and then you let go of your guard a little bit. Your wife could probably get you to entertain some things that you probably normally wouldn't do. No. This is Halloween.
Listen, man.
I looked
man,
it up.
That basketball bag ain't coming like it was coming. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So they said, let's concoct a little plan to pop off your OnlyFans. That's it. She carrying the team now. That's all. She putting in her couple of years now. That's all.
It say he made $61 million while he was in the league, and then taxes and his agents kept. Something happened, so he only actually pocketed about 18 million. Then he been having money trouble, and when he met her, she was a Yasmin Pendavis. She was already a triple X model.
No, she was.
So he knew coming in the game what she was.
But at JR, can we take this scenario and really, for the sake of, we're gonna talk about it, but can we? Everybody else that's taking that video, they about to go hard on it. Oh yeah, he's this. They about to break down this whole thing and make it seem like that is a real thing. Like, they acted, they set this thing up. It's not real. Can we like take that approach? Still be able to talk about it, but take that approach, because I don't want to be jumping in with the rest of people, because it when you on YouTube, you talking about topics, and you want a lot of people jump out there just to get set the news out and set to get the clicks and the likes and the whole 9 yards. I just want to be a little bit more authentic in this thing, knowing that thing is fake, and for the sake of it, but we could still take that scenario and being able to put our 2 cents to it. Can we? Because I think fake, JR. I'm sorry, I can't looking at.
You know what? I just saw the shorter version of it, and I just glimpsed at it. But after watching that, I agree with y'all. I'm just like, man, that shit don't look real, man. And then because I was seeing people react to it, but I didn't really look into it. I'm like, damn, like people really. I guess it was just one of those things for content for everybody.
That's what now that's
they got blessed, and I think a lot of folks they don't care. They're just looking for drama,
attention.
Yeah, we all may be.
Attention, JR, exactly what this from the first topic. You led with the right topic. No, you led with the right topic. It's attention. Some of us know, darn well ain't real, but you need that bread. You know what I mean? Because YouTube paying. You feel me? At the end of the day, so like I just want to be a little bit more authentic, and so we don't be behind, what other people like. I don't worry about what other people do. I just know how I operate, and I just try to stay authentic as much as possible, man. That thing completely fake.
Okay, I just want to ask the gentleman this: do anybody on here have an OnlyFans account?
Cloud, why you Yo, sir.
I was joking.
Sir
I was trying to
Hales
make
blanked
it was
out.
a joke. It was a joke. It was a joke.
When I say have OnlyFans,
Black.
when I say have OnlyFans account, I mean like, have you guys subscribed to anybody's OnlyFans?
No, sir.
Okay.
No.
Oh no, you can get all that for free. Are you
On
kidding
Reddit.
me?
I'm going Reddit.
I mean, I don't know.
I get all that for free.
OnlyFans.
All of it.
I did just look up her name though in Google, and yeah, she got some videos.
Are they any good?
Posted in the back chat.
Marcus, like, she got some videos.
Now, when I seen that you did that was the topic, like the main thing, you know, I had to obviously do a little to make sure. I'm like, all right, she was a real porn star, really out back in the day. You know what I mean? She had the little different face. She was a little younger.
See, she's trying to get back in the game.
I put it like this: there's a lot of stories, right? We read our children stories. We know their fables, right? Regardless of what, there's a lot of people who don't. There's a lot of reverends who don't believe in the good book, but they don't miss an opportunity to give out a good message anyway, right? So that's the only thing I would say, because regardless, and people come on my post and say, "Oh, this one was a skit," and I know that 2/3 of these are most likely skits, right? However, it doesn't negate the idea that this type of scenario actually happens, and I think that's what's important, just to address that kind of a scenario, because it happens.
Right,
I know people who deal with similar things to that, finding out their chick is on OnlyFans or being a simp or just falling off, and then his female have to pick it up, and she uses sex work, right? Or the fact that he tried to turn a hoe into a housewife. All of these things really happen, and you don't understand that this female is really going to go back to her original ways. There's so many lessons within that one video, true or not, but there are absolutely genuine messages that we could absolutely teach on from that scenario.
Yeah, no, go ahead. So lay the bass down, Trev.
I mean, Trev ain't got.
All right.
I mean, it's not the only time. I got more topics. So we can just go around. If you want to add something to it, you can. I can just move it on. Because I mean, that was just after looking at it. God damn! I'm like, I should have reviewed the video.
No. the acting on it, the acting on it, and everything was horrible. You could tell after like really watching it. It was hard. It was a hard watch, because I'm like, damn, they rehearsed this and it still came out really bad. But
I'm just gonna scratch it, man. I don't even want to even dive into it, man. It was obviously open. I think we'll just be some fools right now to even critique it. So.
It's different when you're watching on your phone and you're watching on the computer screen.
Well, I just seen a shorter version of it. I just seen like a little clip of it. I seen people that reacted to it. Then I did see an OnlyFans page, but then after looking at it, I'm like, this shit was terrible.
Hey, that's why
I like the acting she did in them porn movies.
I mean, it was like too many pauses. I think y'all pointed it out. They was looking at the camera. It was just he wasn't mad enough.
He wasn't mad enough. He wasn't angry enough.
Yeah, well, yeah, like he was.
One enough domestic violence happened.
He wasn't even looking at us. You could tell he was talking to her, trying not to break frame and laugh. Like he was getting mad over the. I'm like, come on, brother.
Would y'all classify him as a simp or a pimp?
Ooh.
More like
it depends. Did he mastermind the whole thing?
Simp.
Yeah, you married a porn star. Yeah, you a goddamn simp.
You a simp off the rip. You married a porn star, you're a simp.
If he didn't marry her, would he be a pimp or a simp?
If he did marry her?
He didn't marry her.
And she's actually going out.
I don't know what y'all talking about.
Well, she's going. They don't have enough money. She's going out and selling her body to make money for him. Because he don't have it right now. I think
behind his back though. Behind his back.
No,
it's behind his back. He's not agreeing
if they
with
stage the video, then it's not behind his back. If they stage the video,
that's your girl.
It's marketing.
I'm about to say, if that's your girl, you simping. If that's your girl, ain't no other way of looking at that.
I still think it's pimping.
No, listen.
That's like his
It's not
bottom chick
simping.
or something.
That's not even the
like
we've established what the definition of simping is. That's not simping. He's just a sucker. He's
No,
just an idiot.
no, 100.
Listen, Gorgeous Dre is
The
married
reason
to
why
his ex-hoe.
I said
He's a
simple is
pimp.
because a lot of times, if he's not the masterminding, sometimes I done seen women gas the dudes up that they they man up. I'm gonna do this. I can easily make money. I've been doing this before I met you. Like I got a couple people and they going out getting work, and the man just allowing just in the name of getting some money, and he talking about he love this girl, bro. That ain't no pimp. That's a simp.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, that's simping.
Yeah.
So, but he's complaining. He has an issue with it. Like if he was just complicit and like, oh, I guess, all right, cool. Well, how's it? If she's out there just doing it and he's gonna acquiesce to what the fuck she's doing just so he can continue to get some pussy, that's simping. What he's doing, that's not simping. So he's just an idiot.
So
that's all.
So what like think about Adam 22, right? It's a good chance that he put that whole thing together just to create buzz around that relationship. It's clear in this scene that they acting, right? That's what we kind of all agreed on. So it could possibly be that, because I mean, I'm not marrying a porn star. You know what I'm saying?
Adam married.
You say what?
Marcus, Adam married her.
Right, both of them, Adam and Joe
Get
Smith,
married all the time, man.
Yeah.
Both of the porn stars.
Yeah, so that
they're welling.
Yeah, that's when you lost me.
No, yo,
listen, Marcus, I'm just keeping all the way around. Like, you lost me at that part.
That he married her?
100%.
Maybe he don't value the marriage like that. Maybe it's just, I don't know.
Okay, so let me chime in here really quickly.
Sorry, I want my bad.
Yeah, this is like the world star hip hop portion of the conversation, but I do want to chime in on it really quickly. I think what we're talking about speaks to an issue that men have, and that is a lot of us men are arrogant. Like we believe that when we fall in love with a woman, somehow deep within us, we'll take all of the stuff that we see that we know are red flags. Like we see it, it's a clear red, obvious red flag. It's in your face. And we believe that if we love and if we are masculine and if we're tough and we're strong and we lay down the law, there is something in us when we love a woman, we think we're going to change her. So whether or not this is fake in either scenario, I think it speaks to an issue that a lot of men have, that we think that we can take a woman and that she's going to change for us. And I think the reality is men need to understand that when you marry a woman, there is nothing you can do to make her change. It's got to be up to her. And no matter how much you love her, it doesn't matter how much you think she's going to change. And just because those behaviors or red flags you saw early on have been put on pause, it doesn't mean that the character that drives her to be that or do those things have gone away. So joke or not, no self-respecting man would joke around about his wife doing this unless they make it abundantly clear that this is a skit. And so like I hear it's a skit, I hear that it's fake, but no self-respecting man, even if this goes away in the next 2 to 3 years, this is the first time I heard of this ball player. First time. Whenever I hear his name going forward, it's going to be attached to a 50-something-year-old woman has an OnlyFans account. He's blemished his reputation, whether this is a joke or not. You guys grow up, you guys hear the saying, well, you play too much. I think a lot of adults today, you play too much. We play too much about our reputations. We play too much about our relationships. We play so much because we think it's fun at the moment, not realizing that our kids, grandkids, people we respect is going to see that later. So,
sorry, let me ask you this.
I don't think in this generation they got nothing to do with. I don't think these people give a fuck about no self-respect. Listen, the economy is crazy right now, and people are on the internet watching a bunch of people that they know talking about they making 50 or 100 grand a month. People have completely different aspirations than what they used to have. People don't want to be a doctor and make 6 figures. And when people used to want to make 6 figures, they was talking 100,000, 200,000. When people say they want to make 6 figures a year now, they talking 500,000 to 800,000. Like it's a whole nother world. So it's like we could talk about self-respect and all that, but he very well could just be pimping her out because he's looking at it like, look, I'm not getting no money. OnlyFans women. I'm online every day seeing these stupid girls that don't even look that good talking about they getting. I made 50,000 last month. He probably wasn't even getting 50,000 a month when he was in the league. So you don't think that the money might be? I mean, I don't know. I just feel like the money is a huge incentive in this economy, and I think that with the money and how big of a bag is coming out of this OnlyFans economy right now, that self respect is going all out the window. Plus, on top of that, it's not even like we live in a generation where his wife is going to be shamed by her peers for being an OnlyFans model. That's not going to happen. She not. We're looking at it like he's tainted his legacy because we're in an older bracket. But the younger people beneath us, they're not saying that. They don't have those same morals. They're saying, yes, queen. They're saying, yes, this 50-year-old woman, oh, and she still look good and she's getting to the bag. I want to be like her. And you know what they're gonna say about her husband? While we're looking at her husband like he's a sucker, you know what they're saying? Wow, I can't wait to get me a husband like him who's secure enough to deal with me having an OnlyFans. That's what they're gonna say. So it's like we got to understand that the worldview that we have as like we're the last. Well, at least me, I'm the last of the millennial generation. But even the generation that we talk about, the Gen Zers, they're on a whole nother timing. It's not the same
Right.
thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
And these
Cloud, Joe
people are
Smith
trying
was
to appeal
drafted
to
in
that.
1995.
But what I'm
He
saying
with
is
us.
they trying to if they got an OnlyFans, they trying to appeal to right now. And I can tell you why because like my people I know that are his age, half of them, a lot of them don't even know nothing about no OnlyFans. So the fact they even doing this skit just shows you they in the times right now. They trying to get a bag, they trying to get lit, and it's like they probably been having marriage troubles. They don't care about no self respect. He probably been cheating on her. She probably been cheating on him. Now they just like, listen, these bills need pay. Ain't no NBA checks coming in. Time to eat, shorty. Put that meat on the rack. It's time to sell. You know what I'm saying? Do what you do best. Because when I found you selling it, it's time to get back to work. Because OnlyFans is working right now. And that's all I see happening right now. I see money in marketing. I see dollar signs. That's what's happening.
But I see too. And then on top of that, attention right now, like back to the initial topic, attention is a drug, right? He was a famous basketball player. He no longer is. His name is in the mouth of everybody, and it ain't been since probably 99, 2000. Like he is at that point right now. You say what?
I don't
You don't
know.
know him?
No,
Yeah, I remember
talking
he used
about
to be decent.
Pause.
No, he used to be decent. He used to be decent. But on top of that,
Decent.
like so right now, would any of y'all go in a grocery store and throw your body across a whole convenience store rack of stuff and film it to put it online? I'm pretty sure no, right? Would any of y'all pretend to overdose on drugs just so people can know who you are, like bunk gang and all of that stuff? I'm pretty sure not, right? It's like Klaus say, it's a whole different generation, and the stuff these people willing to do right now to get famous, we look at in disgust, and they look at and get paid and laugh at us for looking at them in disgust. It's generationally different. And when you, like I was talking about this earlier when I said I struggle with understanding this new generation. This one of the things, like I'm looking at it from a perspective of if I was in this generation, how would I view it? I'm taking myself out of how I view things and looking at it from people within this era that don't really care how they appear. They don't, like you say, self-respect been out the window. Attention by any means. You got people like Latte Mom letting their daughter curse out adult, like all type of stuff that you just know would have been off limits for our generation is now the new norm. And then it has to be sensationalized. So you've got to do something that pushes the cultural norms and boundaries a little bit further than somebody did before you, even to be looked at. Because just average good content or good self-respect and stuff, it ain't cutting it right now. For whatever reason, it's just not cutting it. You have to push that stuff. And unfortunately, until we find a better solution or metric, people gonna continue to keep doing this. And the weaker people that are older than us that need money will probably fall victim to a lot of stuff that we would be like, hell no, I'm not doing that. They like, well, shit, I got $25,000 a month in bills, just bills, and I haven't made money in 17 years. We need to figure something out. Me, I would say downsize and then y'all go live in a studio or something if that's but him, hey baby, get to work. Get on that pole, sell it. That's how they move.
It's not respectable. And I would whose kids that are coming up in this generation on the panel, whose kids are going to do something like that? Raise your hand. Because being that it's a generational thing, whose kids on this panel is going to do that? That's what I want to know. Anybody who's saying that this is cool, which one of your children are going to do that, and you're going to say it's okay. Which one of your children? And
I'm
that's
not saying
okay.
it's
So it's not generational. It's not generational. These
It
are
ain't
lost
about
people.
whether or not you
And
say it's okay or not. How many people?
but they're
said
not
that
going to
they-
do it. You
Hold
know
on,
what?
hold on.
I'd bet my life that my
how
children ain't
many-
doing that. That's what
but
I'm
how
saying.
many? Hold on.
They ain't.
I respect what you're saying, Trev. Right? But hear what I'm saying. How many women right now are on the track on Figueroa in LA right now, whose parents right
A
now
lot.
would say that that wasn't going to be my daughter? There's a lot of people who said that wasn't going to be my daughter, and guess what? OnlyFans is making billions off of that wasn't going to be my daughter.
Yeah.
So
You
Was it
can
so
more
say what you
cheaper?
want, but are you leading with the? Are you leading by example? Right? Are you giving them the tools that they need to be successful? That's the difference. You can say what you want. You can say your children never will, but what are you
Trev,
doing to back that up?
Wait,
Trev, in
Shane,
this
if Furious
generation,
Styles,
you even trying to talk to your daughter, right? About you even trying to have a conversation with your daughter about what she does with her body in this generation can get you canceled. We're not in the same
no,
generation.
no.
Like meaning you have a conversation with your girl about boys, and let's say somebody record it and they don't like the wording you use, they don't like the way you phrase something a certain way. You now a problem, bro. Now you're different. Now you're trying to control the sexuality of a young woman. There's language that they've used to make it so that you as a father can have difficulty. Now I'm not saying you're gonna have difficulty. I'm not questioning your parenting skills in any way at all. I'm just saying that we're living in a time right now where even your parenting skills is limited because social media and society has a stronger reach. I'm hanging with a friend the other day, and she's a great parent, but all of them kids were still in the phone. They were still looking at that, and I'm watching the daughter. She's reciting something word for word that she's seeing. Now, I'm not saying what she was reading or reciting was bad per se, but in them 10 minutes that she's driving the car, something else could have came on that screen. Some ass shaking and some twerking, and that could have imprinted on her mind in a whole different way. And now when she hang with her friends in the bathroom at school, she ass shaking and twerking. And before you know it, by the time your little girl is 16 years old, she done did more shit than you ever could think of. So I get what you're saying. It is incumbent upon us to make sure that that's not happening with our kids. But it's not just about whether we allowing it or not no more, because society is crazy.
I got two examples for you,
Nah.
Trev.
And I don't think we should accept that. I don't think we should accept that because you know what? Other cultures are not accepting that shit. That's garbage. Other cultures are not accepting that. You go to the continent of Asia, you tell me how many of them mother lovers
have
is
the law on
accepting
their
that
side.
shit. They're not. They're not. Okay.
They have the
No,
law
they
on
have
their side.
family on their side. They have communities
have
on
the
their
law.
side. They are putting it down. They are parenting. They are involved. They are doing what they're supposed to. They have influence. They are not allowing society or social media to have a stranglehold on their children. That's what's not happening. And that's what we are allowing. You have to put your foot down. You have to stop that. That's a no-go. It won't happen in my household, and it shouldn't happen in yours, and you should be confident about it. And anybody that is around me is not happening. None of my friends, family, they don't act like that. They are doing well. They have accolades. They doing a thing. The people that I surround myself with, their children are doing well. Their children are having honor roll. Their children are involved in extracurricular activities. They have no need for that. They see that. Again, I don't shelter my children because that's one of the worst things you can do too. They need to see it, and I provide context, and I tell them this is what you never do. This is what's not cool. And I show them why, and I give them real context, right? And I make sure that they have morals, right? You have to explain these things to them. You have to take your time. You have to spend a lot of time with them. You have to really, really, really dig in. You can't just let children raise themselves. And I witnessed that. I witnessed a lot of people doing that, right?
I don't
Neither
disagree
one
with
of
the
us is
sentiment of
saying
what
that
you're saying, right? I don't
should
disagree with
happen.
the sentiment of what you're saying at all. But you got to keep in mind that as good of a parent as you might be, your kids spend more time at school than they spend with you. And that's what it's going to be from the time they're 4 or 5 years old. They spend more time away from you than they spend with you. And while they're at school, there's ideas being put in their mind. There's books being read to them. There's books that they're being told to do reports about. There's stories they're being told to be read, and there's perspectives being given to them that are affecting how they come out in life. The only way you can have that much control is if you are 100% like homeschooling, controlling every aspect of their life. But if your kids are in the world, like I hate to break it to you, it's going to be very hard to have that level of control. I mean, today we live in a world where you know how easy it is to lose your kids just if they call CPS one time and just say, "Yo, if you let's say you tell your daughter, I don't want you wearing that shit out the house." She could literally call CPS and say, "My daddy hit me." And guess what? CPS will be at that house investigating and doing all type of stuff, all because she said, "My daddy hit me." And every time you tell her not to wear that, she could say, "My daddy hit me." And it's gonna become a point where you're like, okay, well, do I let her wear what she want to wear, or do I get her
Cloud,
taken away by force? I'm just saying, I'm just
Cloud.
trying to talk about the nuances in the world we live in today. Just keep everything in context of where we live today. That's all I'm trying to say.
Hey, let me just say this really quickly. So I hear what you're saying, and there's some validity to that. But that to me, as a parent of 4, there is how the world is, and then there's parameters you put in place because you understand the dangers. So let me give an example. So when you have kids, we know if you buy a house, you buy a fence, or you teach your kids don't walk out into the street, look both ways. We're not saying stop traffic. We're teaching our children how to look at the traffic so that they don't get hurt. I think what's wrong with this generation is we've become cheerleaders to the culture, and we don't become guardians or elders or teachers, or you know what I mean. We see it and we can philosophize as to why it is as it is, but we don't have vision as to how it should be and the balls to make sure we stand on those principles. And if somebody falls out of line, well, we got to correct you. So here's what I would say to what you said, Cloud. Let's say that somebody's daughter is using the system as leverage so that the parent can't say something. Well, I'll say, go ahead. If this is how you feel, let the system take care of you. And let's see if the system is going to do a better job of taking care and providing for you than I can. If we're going to play this game, and I guarantee you, most people, when they get a dose of reality, will start to realize that they got a much better at home as opposed to letting children bully their parents. If you think the system can do a better job, be my guest.
I was about to
Listen, I'm just saying we all did things that our parents ain't know about, correct or not?
Listen, let me just say this.
Absolutely. Especially this drug epidemic is proof of it. And there's plenty of celebrities whose daughters we would have thought was great parents. That's why I kept saying Furious Styles from Boys in the Hood, Lawrence Fishburne. I think his daughter ended up being a corn actress, right?
Listen,
if I'm not mistaken.
She did one with Brian Pumper. I know.
We are not saying that this is right. I'm pretty sure me and Klaus share the same perspective. We vehemently let's be clear. We vehemently disagree with this. We'll not do this with our children. We'll stand in the gap. What we are speaking to is a mentality that exists nowadays that's different than the mentality that we were raised with, and dissecting the nuances of that mentality while not agreeing with it, but pushing the conversation further by providing a perspective of what we think is going on. So but that needs to be real clear. We don't advocate this shit.
Nobody's saying that you guys are advocating it at all. However, Trav made a point that you have to be active as a parent. You said when you send your child eight hours to a school, you don't have to. There are schools that or you create your own environment, i.e., for instance, I have a particular belief system, and us in the nation, we send our children to our own schools. So when my children leave from our household, right, they going into another environment with the same belief system, right? So now guess what? These children, parents got the same belief system. So everywhere you have to create the environment, which Trav was saying, like me and the people who I hang around with, their children is doing good because they created an environment where their children can grow up in a safe environment, and they trust, and their parents have more of an influence on the child than the outside world. Those are the things. Clout, what you was, and you have exceptions to the rule where people will just want to be rebellious, right? And you can't force when your child become grown, you can't force your child anything. But Sir Hell made a good point. Oh, let's see, you want to be with the outside world. Let's see how you make out in that world than this environment that we had created, that I bust my behind and created for you. And normally, water seeps its own level. So normally when they get a burnt, they willing to run back. Not saying that your child won't test the waters, but guess what? When you put a clean glass next to a dirty glass, only thing you could do is put a clean glass next to a dirty glass and allow someone to choose from. So, make points, but, just have to be more active as a parent and create the safe environment. But thank y'all, man. I really got to go. I'm
I'm gonna holler at y'all,
Well,
man.
I just wanted to, I like what Rashawn said about the Nation of Islam, because I think that is something that can help, like how they have their own schools, or like how I was saying before, there was a lot more churches and a lot more community programs like that. I think if more things like that exist, then it's a lot easier to have that control. I just think that unfortunately the society
True.
we're living in right now,
No,
there
Cloud,
aren't there aren't as many of them as there were for maybe our generation.
where you live at? What state you live in?
I live in New York.
Oh, all right. So you got a whole bunch of the schools that I'm talking about in New York, Brooklyn, Harlem, actually every borough, and even Mount Vernon. And if you want to go to Long Island as well, if you in Jersey, we
Yeah,
got
but every student can't go to these schools. I
no,
mean, so but I get what you're saying. These schools, it's great that these schools exist, and we need more of that. So I think that's
no,
commendable.
don't say every student can't. No, it's the sacrifice that parents should make for their children to go to a safe environment of school. See,
No, I'm
what
saying logistically, it's
oh,
not possible.
no, that's not true. Again, Trav made
How many of these schools do you think there are? Like, if you were to count them, like,
I
and then how
just
many students you think there are that
listen.
these schools would need to serve?
Hold on. What I'm saying is, Clout, we only buy more property as much as the demand. So if black people was to say, you know what, we need the XYZ, guess what we'll do? It's no need to buy 100 acres if I don't need to use 100 acres,
Okay.
right? So the point of the matter is, that's why I concede to what Trev was saying. It's the parents that has to do or be more involved. But a lot of times we say we don't want to make the necessary sacrifices. And then when our children get older and they act a certain way, you be like, well, look, I did all of the best that I can. No, you did the best that you can to try to spend your money on keeping your child fresh in a new Nike and Jordan. Sometimes you might have to scale back from that to make sure that they mind in the environment that they are in is in a better environment. Chill. You buying them Louis. I seen parents be buying a 7-year-old who broke. You don't got the money, but you buying your 7-year-old some Louis to go to school. No, damn well the child can't fit it in another 6 months. That just doesn't make sense. Guess what? That's money towards the tuition. You understand what I'm saying? So the thing about it is, I agree, Marcus and Cloud. I understand the point that you were saying, but at the same time, Trev and Sir Hal was, I think that coming from there, we have to do more as a parent to create the environment so our children can grow up underneath the environment that we want, that we can have enough influence. That's the only thing. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. So absolutely.
All right, let me get some of the other guys who might want to chat. Hold on, Marcus. I don't know if Luis or Hink, Shan, anything. Any of you guys? I just want to make sure I'm spreading the mic.
No, I mean, look, as far as anything, if you're worried about a lot of this stuff, and then I don't know if everybody has that belief of, the religious belief, the background, but you can homeschool your child. It's not like it's a high price cost for the child. Now it's a sacrifice you have to make, and it's not on a certain time schedule. You could create an atmosphere for your child whatever time of the day. As long as you could space out 4 hours for your child to do homeschool, it could be done. But you got to be willing and willing on doing it. You understand what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter what we're talking about now. I think these kids are in school way too much. I think kids should only go to school for math, science, and English, and then use that 4th hour for either tutoring or some type of vocational training. Send them home with a sack lunch, and they're done. 4 hours. They don't need to be in school for 8 hours. But now these schools are used as a glorified daycare. That's all it is. So, yeah, I definitely would encourage parents to start looking into homeschooling. I encourage my daughter to do that for my granddaughter because of what's going on now, what they're teaching these in these curriculums. A lot of these parents, like you said, are not involved. They're not going to the PTSA. They're not going to the school board meetings. They talk about all of that before it comes to the school. You just got to make sure you're aware. You got to make sure you have your say-so and let it be known you don't want your child. Because what another thing they're doing is they're not sending home permission slips for you to do it. If you don't, when they send all that paperwork home, half you parents probably throw away and really don't give a shit about. They slide it in there. That's where they slide that clearance. And when you saying it's okay to for your child's image, other things to be exposed, you're signing over everything. You don't even realize it, because half of these parents, even if they do get the paperwork, they sign it, they're not reading it. And so you're signing over your rights right then and there. You need to read what you sign. I mean, people, we too old for this, not reading what we sign. We can't just be signing anything, just to be signing and get little Junior out of my way because you're tired of him nagging you. Because my teacher said I'm gonna get a couple points off my grade if I don't turn my paperwork in. We all heard that before. So make sure you're paying attention to what's going on. Definitely look into homeschool if you don't like the agenda that that's starting to be pushed towards these kids. And another thing is protect these little black boys, man. I talked about this on another show. They are taking advantage of little black boys. They are trying to get these little black boys IPAs so they can get more money for your kids. Right now, they're paying $1,500 a head for each child to be in school, at least up to the half a day, which is $11.30 most schools. Now, at $1,500 a day per child, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. But imagine getting $2,500. That's what they're getting if they get an IAP on these little black boys. So pay attention to what your sons are saying. They feel like these teachers are messing with them or picking on. Take heed to what they're saying and go investigate. Now, Junior lying, Junior, shut the fuck up and go sit down and do your work. Stop being an asshole. Just do your work. But if Junior's right and then what he's saying is true, you need to put these teachers on paper. You need to put this school on paper.
Yeah. That was well said, Hank. Just make sure you start listening to your children too, because sometimes your kids will bring something to you and you think they're full of shit, or you don't believe anything they're saying. You kind of scoot them away. So if a child come to you and they say something, just really listen to it. Don't cut them off, because I know we in this culture where everybody like to cut people off, but they like to discredit before they can hear anything. They may be trying to tell you something serious. And they kind of go back to that conversation we had before. Not sure if it's on Lapeef Sunday, where a lot of changes are going to be happening, whether it's the bed or homeschool, because everybody can't homeschool because everybody in the house working. So that's probably going to take for men, husbands in particular, to step up to be able to create an environment where the woman doesn't have to work and she can homeschool. There's this Christian school that my friend has his daughter in, and it operates like a hybrid. So they goes from kindergarten all the way up to 12th grade. And the younger kids go to school on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then they homeschool. So the parents are now put into roles where like they have to be able to teach their kids. And then once they get to I don't know what grade it is, the older kids go Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So then you get a balance of where you're able to have the child be able to have some form of social skills, but they're not spending the majority of their time in the school, which I think is great. But you got to think about like how are we going to be able to create things like this, because that's a Christian, so it ties back down to religion. And like Hank say, not everybody's religious. Well, we have to start thinking about what can we do in order to create these environments, and it starts back with family. Because if the women are pouring into the men to be able to strengthen them, to help assist where need be, then he can go out and do what he got to do to make sure all the bills are covered. Which, if you do have children, then the women can homeschool. So it's a lot of things that have to happen in order for us to start seeing these results. And that's why I say it all goes back to what you're doing inside your house. You take care of your house. Hopefully your children can look to see what you're doing, and instead of mirroring all your negative and drama, they're actually seeing something positive. And then when they have their kids, they can actually duplicate everything that they've seen you do. So we have to start inside of our own homes. We got to start holding ourselves accountable, men and women, because there's a lot of men that's fucked up. Even when it comes down to you choosing who you smashing, who you having these kids with. A lot of kids were born by accident. I don't know too many babies and even people around me that actually plan to have their children. So kids are coming in and they're already coming into a toxic situation, and now we're trying to figure it all out. So you have to start being a little bit more intentional, understand what it is that comes with sex. And we can start there. Let's start there. Let's start being more of an example. And then hopefully our future get better. You can't save everybody. Everybody not going to be saved. You can't change everybody. Everybody looking for solutions. I guarantee you, the same way you complaining, there's somebody that's in the email saying, thanks for this conversation. You helped me out. Everybody ain't going to get it. And they ain't going to get it at the same time. So you kind of get what you can. If you miss it, guess what? Come on back next Tuesday and hopefully you'll get something else.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I also think in today's time, being that like what Hank said, a lot of people aren't religious. I think that maybe it would be good for families to collectively invest in some type of something similar to what a church represents, but some type of place where there's like a social and moral education given. Like a place where people can meet and get teachings that reinforce things that will benefit society and community, because that's really what church is supposed to represent. I mean, it's really about teaching people these morals and these foundational things that help them to better love one another and better connect with one another, and see each other as neighbors and equals. So I think if we can just take a lot of the ideas from church, from all the different churches, and find a way to incorporate it all together and create this place where, hey, you know what, maybe you don't got to go to the club on the weekend. Maybe like how we have King Talk every Tuesday. This is basically like church if you really think about it. We get on here and we have these topics and we congregate and we have fellowship, and I mean that's really what that's what it's really all about. That's what community is all about. So I think it's very beneficial for us to continue to do what we're already doing online. But even like what you're doing, JR, as far as like setting up actual events, I think that's just the next step of what we're doing. Like taking everything that we're talking about online and let's take it offline. Let's have these conversations in real world spaces so people can put down their phone and people can actually look each other in the eye and engage and have these sometimes we get on here and we have these heated debates. And you know what? That's necessary. Sometimes we need to be looking at each other and having these heated debates. Sometimes the older men in the community need to be standing on a pulpit, on a pedestal, and talking directly to the younger people, like in a group. Like sometimes we need to get together and just sing some songs. Like we do that in church. We all get together and just sing. After church, we might all get together and eat. Just little things like that help to build that community bond and feeling like, you know what, this other person is someone I can rely on. I know that he just heard the same sermon I heard, and now we can share common goals and common ideals and work together for one cause. So I don't think you necessarily have to do it under the banner of religion or God to do that. There's a lot of things that we all as people can relate to, just simply, treating each other well, not killing each other, not stealing from each other, not lying to each other and deceiving each other and hurting one another. I think if we can continue to focus on those things a little more, morals and social intelligence, I think it'll be for the benefit of us all.
Yeah, I like that. One of the things that I really loved about the events is just actually, and people who I've talked to one-on-one, they hear me say it all the time. This is bringing people together. It's all about the experience. Just looking at everybody mingle, laugh, and having a good time. Like that's the highlight for me. I don't have to be in front of the camera. I don't have to be the main attraction, but just bringing folks together to be able to socialize and understand it's a bond. It was a certain energy. If you went to Atlanta, if you went to Houston, it was a certain energy, regardless of whatever you see online. And that's what I love to see. Like that's what gets me going, is when I bring people together and I see us as a whole. So, all right. Anybody got any final thoughts before we get up out of here? Anybody want to say anything? Say, are you good?
Yeah, so I just want to add one particular thing. So men raise your children. Now, this can't be stated enough. Like the world makes it seem like men just have to be out there working, but there comes a point where, and as a religious person, like I come from a religious background, there's no amount of outside influence. There's no music. There's nothing replaces the impact of an involved father. So men, Don't underestimate your power and the influence that you have, even if the kids don't listen to you right away. Like that's the one thing I found myself frustrated with my children. I got 4 of them, and everybody is in their own particular phase now. Like when my kids were not teenagers, they were different. Once you start getting teenagers and their emotions and hormones kick in, they're different people. And as a father, we're tasked to raise children, but in raising children, it's kind of like you being raised yourself, because you're figuring out how to adjust yourself to relate to 4 different personalities. And I say this, and I say it often, if you look at the metrics for how they determine the potential of the child in terms of their safety, their likelihood for getting on drugs or dropping out or teenage pregnancies. Like if you plug in the biggest factor is the presence of an active father. I'm not talking about somebody who just lives in a home or somebody who's just there. I'm talking about a father who is oriented himself to see his children and want to see them succeed and be great in life. And he sees that to such a degree where everything that he does in his life, whether it's the way he gets up and go to work, the way he shows up for the mother of the children, the way that he takes care of his home, like how they see him volunteering, everything that he does is literally because he's thinking on a subconscious level, I am the example for my children. And so fathers, black, white, no matter what color you are, let's make sure that we do not let the world make us believe that we are just helping out, that we are an accessory. No, we are the vital pillar upon which the foundation of our children are built. So we have to not just be involved in terms of conversation, but your discipline, the zest and the zeal that you live life with, the way that you pursue your purpose, the way that you love, the way that you love their mother, the way that you love your family, the way that you love people, your compassion. All of these things create a foundation in the kid that no entity, no person can duplicate or replicate, because that job is reserved for fathers. So fathers, you help raise your children.
That's good stuff.
I just want to say real quick. You could still be an absentee father and be in the home. Like what I try to do with like my family, like no matter what, you have to have some time of the day. For me, I choose dinner time. So whether, even if it's like a 40-minute conversation, it's still a conversation where all of you have fellowship, right? You get their perspectives. You ask them how their day was, different conflicts that they might be dealing with, and we all deal with it collectively. There's no judgment. We just talk, we speak. I encourage people, sit at the table at least for dinner. Sit at the table as many times as you can. Just have those conversations with your family, your sons and your daughters. They need you. Anytime if I'm doing something, if I'm working on my car, if I'm putting a shelf together, with anything that I'm doing, I bring my son with me. If I'm going somewhere, I bring my daughter with me. Something like you have to be involved. You have to have those conversations on the rides, on the way there. You need to be engaged, and you need to know what's going on in their lives. And you have to build that healthy trust to where they feel like they can talk to you without judgment, because they're going to have so many questions. If they can trust you to give the answers versus school. And I know people say that they're in the school all day. That doesn't even matter, because I'm going to give them more time than that, right? They're going to be learning most of those times. They won't have the time to be influenced, because I'm going to make sure I instill my values. And like me and Shannon was talking about a couple of weeks ago, you have to indoctrinate them, period. I'll leave it there.
All right. I just want to kind of just say this too. This kind of came to me. One of the things that I often hear, particularly with the women, because they're the ones that usually report it at some point in time, is we got some pedophiles. We got some crazy minded men that like to prey on the young women. And me having a daughter, I really take an exception to that, and I can't be there. But one of the things that I would hate to hear as a father would be that she was touched inappropriately. And so when she's trying to navigate and do these things, I'm there. She's asking, Dad, why you got to be that? I'm here. I need to see what's going on. I need to know who you talking to. I'm there. I'm even doing pop-ups, because by any means necessary, I refuse for her to be a victim, because there's no coming back from that. There's no coming back from that. And if you sick motherfuckers out there with these minds that's preying on these young girls, you're sick. If you're thinking about it, think twice. That's why fathers just do a pop-up at the school. You know, sometimes people just know that you're an active father and they seeing you. Even the staff of them may think twice. I've been blessed not to been able to experience that, but when I hear it, stories, or even women that I've dated, how many women have been touched? It's a lot of them that has been touched, and they ain't the same. I can't even tell you if I find out somebody has done anything to my daughter. I can't tell you what type of person I'm gonna be. You know, all that stuff may go out the window, and that's just be something I got to live with. But if we're thinking about trying to prevent something, just be active. Have those conversations, like Trev said. I think those conversations are necessary. Even the boys. That's why I say don't because I didn't want to hear they be trying to explain stuff. Listen to them, because it may be something valid that they saying is actually happening. And actually follow into it. Don't say they lying. I know that you can have a child that's a liar. And maybe that one time that they're not lying. So just follow through with it, follow up, look into it, see if it's something. Don't blow everything out of proportion. Don't go yelling. Something happen, get all the details, get all the facts straight, and then handle it from there. But I'm telling you, as men, as fathers, we got to be present in our daughters' lives. You know, if you're out there, you just never know. You just don't want to ever see that for your child. Like, I feel for every parent and father that has had somebody that happened in their family, happened to their loved ones. So just be active, man. Just be active. Just be boots to the ground on deck with that. I can't even be, if I even get a hint of you doing some foul ass shit, like, I don't even want to be around men that's looking at young girls. I don't even want to be around that. Like, they're not attracted. They're not attracted to me. I don't do it. That's somebody's daughter. Like, you got to have a sick mind to be looking at little ass kids. Let me get up off of that, man. I just hate to see that shit.
Spoken all facts.
I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Let me get these super chats real quick. J Astro 199, shout out to the most solid Trev Smooth. This is great. Kevin Cook, $2. Nobody wants box that looks like balled up homework. And Real Precious 999 says, great show tonight. So, salute to everybody that has contributed to the platform. I want to thank the gentleman for their perspectives tonight. Let's make sure we support each other. Everybody has something going on. Check out their IGs, YouTube, and let's support each other. With that being said, we out, man. Great show, fellas. Hit that like button. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel on the way out. It's been another one in the banger.
Great show, guys.